Good evening, lovely spirits. It's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. Peace and wisdom. Now, tonight I want to do this video breaking down the seven heavens. Now, this is not just a Christian thing, but many different religions as well as many different cultures, they speak of seven heavens. And this is a real deep thing because we speak of it in today times as if it's an analogy. And this is a real literal thing, a real literal aspect of the life. And it's just a deep thing, but I want to break it down so that people truly grasp. Now you have the earth, and this is the physical solid plane, so to say. The core, whatever you want to call it. The core or the plane. But this is the physical solid level of life. Now above that you have what is called seven heavens, but it's truly only two. Lower heavens and the upper heavens. And you have these two above earth. The lower heavens and the upper heavens. Now it's three parts to each. So the lower heavens has the lowest parts, the middle parts, and the highest parts of the lower heaven. Then the upper heaven, you have the same thing. You have the lowest parts, the middle parts, and the highest parts of the upper heaven. And then you have what is called the bridge of chin in between the two, the upper heaven and the lower heaven. You have the bridge of chin in between, and this is a separate part of heaven, but it separates the two. It is like the central point between the two. Now the heavens are not separate. They transcend into one another. So I don't want you to think like there's a doorway from one to the next, but it just transcends into one another. And this all has to do with density. It's a deep thing. The different levels of heaven that we have to do with density. So it's a matter of that. But this correlates with your physical being, your body, and the makeup of it. Now, you're a physical person in a physical solid body. And you're on the most dense level of the existence. So the physical earth and the seven heavens, this is the existence. Now you're a physical solid person. Therefore, you're on the physical solid level of the existence. Now within you, you have what is called your energy source or your spirit. And when you die, or what we call dying, you shed the solid physical body or nature of yourself. And what's left is that energy. And this is what will ascend up to the different levels of heaven. So it's just like water and water vapor. Water is the physical body. Ice would be the solid physical body of water. Now, as ice melts, it's physical water still nonetheless. Now, as that physical water dies or evaporates, the vapor or the astral aspect of the water, the spirit of it, so to say, evaporates out and raises up to a more suitable realm within the existence. So the physical level, the solid level of life is truly not suitable for the water vapor. That's suitable for the water. So the water vapor rises up to the clouds because that level of life is less dense. It's more suitable for the water vapor. So it's a deep thing I want you guys to grasp. It's the same with the person, with the being, a living person. The spirit within will ascend up to one of the seven heavens. Now, this doesn't always happen, just like fog or water vapor just sitting right on top of the lake. And you like, it should rise up, but it's just sitting there. Sticky, thick fog. We've all seen this. We've all seen a foggy day. This is basically a cloud just down on our physical realm. It should be up in a more suitable place. So sometimes the spirit doesn't ascend up to a more suitable place, meaning one of the seven heavens. And the reason for this is because of the physical weight that the spirit may have acquired during its physical life. So we all indulge in the physical things, physical emotions. We have loved ones, children, things like this. So when a person passes on, they be attached to their children. So this is why in religious texts it say things like, you're not supposed to have kids or sex because you're attaching yourself to the physical. And this will weigh your spirit down, basically making it like thick fog in perspective, causing it not to rise up to a more suitable realm. Just like the water vapor, you can use that as a reference. So it's a deep thing I want you guys to grasp. Now, like I was saying, when a person passed, their spirit is supposed to ascend up, but we acquire a lot of physical weight that weighs the spirit down from ascending up. And then this is how you have spirits, down here on our realm of life, coexisting with us. And, in a sense, afflicting us because they weigh on our conscious so that they can indulge into the physical. I did a video breaking that down, so you can, it's called spirit sharing, but you can look into that video if you want to go deeper into that. But I want to go ahead and break down the seven heavens. Now, you have the seven heavens, and when a person dies, their spirit will ascend up to, or their energy source, so to say, will ascend up to wherever its density level is compatible. So, the less dense, the higher up it'll be. So in the lower heavens, you have, the lowest part of the lower heavens, because, it's three parts to the lower heavens and three parts to the upper heavens. Now, when a person dies, they more than likely ascend up to the lowest level of the lower heavens. They'll probably still have some sort of a physical weight on them, and, they'll work that out, but it's no big deal, and, they'll send up through the levels as they shed the physical weight and guilt and fears and things like this, and the spirit will become less dense and more light. And, a foggy spirit, full of physical guilt, fears, and attachments, you can say that's a dim spirit or foggy in a sense. And you can just use that perspective or analogy. And as you shed your physical attachments and get a better understanding of life, you will ascend up through the lower levels of heaven, and during that process you may get a body or whatever and manifest out into the physical and pass away again or whatever the case may be, and then be back into the spiritual realms or the bodiless realms. And you will continue this journey, the spirit will continue its journey up just as well as the body. This is all a spirit body, astral body experience in the life. And it will get a physical body sometimes, but it's not necessary, but it happens. And the physical body is the hell. The astral spiritual body of self is all one needs to experience physical life without going overboard in indulgence, but just grasping and experiencing. But some spirits get carried away and they actually fall into physical, meaning condense all away into the solid physical, which would be a sperm cell getting an egg cell, condensing, becoming fully solid. That's how we would view it, in life. But what I'm breaking down is the same thing, just That's what it truly is in a nutshell. And like I said, the spirit will ascend up through the different levels of heaven. Now, most people, upon death, they won't even ascend up to the first heaven. The lower heaven. They won't even ascend up to the lowest part of the lower heaven. They'll stay down here attached. And it's a deep thing. Maybe newborn babies probably can ascend up to the upper heavens. Because I don't think anyone would die from this physical level of life and ascend up to the upper heavens. But it's not to say it's not possible. It's all the life they indulged in and how attached they became. So it's a deep thing. And it's not to say if you have kids that you'd automatically be attached. I mean, it's all on you, on a person. But it's just to say, more than likely, most people that have kids, their spirit is going to be attached and they're not going to want to leave without them. They'll want to wait around till they die, and it's just a deep thing. I broke all that down in the video, but you have the seven heavens, and it kind of correlates with the seven chakra within. You got the lower chakras, and then you have the upper chakras, and then you have the solar chakra, or the soul chakra, which is the central point between the upper chakras and the lower chakras. Now, this is with the body. And it's the same way with the seven heavens. You got the lower heaven and the upper heavens, and the three parts of each. And then you have the bridge of chin separating the two. So it's just like I said, we reside within a macro body, and we have the cells within. So it's all the same. The life is within the life, ascending its way up, bringing everything with it. But it's a deep thing. Also, speaking of the chakras, it's a very deep thing I want you guys to grasp, because we know the chakras, from basically being from you can say the waist up to the top of the head. But this is actually incorrect. I don't want to say incorrect, but it was put in that way for people to grasp better. But when you get more deep into the understandings, the seven chakra have to do with just the head. From the back of the back of the spine, where the spine, where the head part of the spine connect to the basically the back or the body of the body. But that from there to the top of the head, this is truly where the seven chakra of a person lie. It's not in the body, but it was just told in that way for people to grasp better. But it's within the head, and the root chakra, or the base of the spine chakra, so we call it. This would be the chakra point right in the back of the neck, right between the end of the neck and the beginning of the back. Or not right there, I'm sorry, like right in the back of where the neck begins and the head begins. So you have your neck in the back, and right where the head and neck kind of begins, right at that point, that's the root chakra. And that's pretty much, where the semen and the oils of the brain, when a person orgasms, this is where that builds up at and drops down the spine from that point. And that's the root chakra. Once that builds up and the semen falls, you orgasm. So when it passes down and gets to the bottom of your spine, you've been at the ejaculation point. So it's done from there. But it's when the oils leak out the brain at that point right there at the bottom of the head, where the neck and the head, end and begin. That's the root chakra. And the semen drops from that point. And that's the root chakra. That's pretty much how you come into the physical, sperm cells. And then you have the sound chakra, which is your mouth, but it's the sound chakra, and that's basically the vibration and energy, because sound is vibration and energy. So you got that chakra point. Then you have the nose chakra. You have the the midpoint chakra, which would be the soul chakra, which we would call the third eye, but this is truly the central point, the soul chakra, the balance between the two. And then above that, you have the upper chakras of the brain before you get to the crown, and that's truly the seven chakras, you know. And the ears have to do with this. I didn't go into the upper chakras and all that of the head. I just wanted to give y'all a perspective because I'm sure people will keep it how they have it. So I was just giving you another understanding of it because the body is nothing. Everything is within the head. We kind of get lost, you know, but it's all within the head. The head is everything. I mean, the body is just the body. You know, you can replace all the organs and everything. So it's a deep thing, but the head, everything has to do with the head. Everything starts with the head. Even when you ejaculate, this starts from the brain. So, you know, the chakra points, the seven chakra points is truly a head thing. And it's a deep thing. The conscious, the all conscious, you know, when you put your arm out from your elbow to the tip of your fingers. So it's just a deep thing people need to grasp. But the seven heavens correlate with that. And it's a deep, cold-blooded thing. All this has to do with spirits and bodies, in a sense, you could say. Because, you know, when a man ejaculates, the sperm cell come out his penis and go into a woman's vagina and get bodies, which are egg cells. And so, you know, at any level of life, you know, the spirit, being as though spirits are within bodies, not just the spirit of the person, but a man has micro spirits within him, you can say, and he releases those into what we would call hell, because this is the beginnings of the physical when the sperm cell gets the egg. So it's a deep thing, and that person to be born on this level of life or a macro level of life and live and die and still have to come back into the spiritual or the bodiless form, the spirit form, the astral form, and you know, they'll still be wherever they're at within the seven heavens. So this all still correlates with the physical. It's a deep thing. I'm trying to explain it where people can truly grasp, but it still correlates with the physical. I don't want you to think, oh, when I pass on, then I'm in the spiritual and everything from there will just be seven levels of heaven of spiritual. But at any level, you can, you know, fall into an egg cell and come into the physical. We call that being born, but it'll just be on a more macro level, maybe a star's level of life or higher. And then when you pass on, you will go back into energy form or spirit form. And wherever you were in your ascent in the heavens, you know, you will either start there or go back lower depending on, you know, how you indulged in your physical. It all boils down to that. So it's a deep thing. If a man has no indulgence in the physical, like a newborn baby, when they pass, they'll probably just go straight up to the upper heavens, you know, to the highest parts of the upper heavens. You have no attachments to keep them. So it's all really deep and it's real, but that's pretty much how it goes. But, you know, keep your spirit clean. That's the most important thing. Keep your spirit clean, understanding the physical attachments, because that's what stops people from moving on in life. And it's a deep thing. Ignorance is everything. It's a deep thing. But it's your main man, Solace, the wise servant here. Peace and wisdom. Stay in low, peaceful vibration, you know. Not to disturb anyone else's vibration. Don't get lost in that high vibration stuff. I did a video breaking that down. You want to vibrate low on a peaceful, nice vibration so that you don't disturb others' vibration, yet you're still vibrating. And it's a good thing. So it's a deep thing. You vibrate high, you begin to disturb others like a high vibration in a pond. And, you know, this is where people begin to become envious of you. Or we perceive it that way, but it's truly just you're vibrating so high, you're disturbing them. And, you know, it plays out into the physical how it does. But vibrate low. peaceful, and all shall be well, you dig? It's the wise servant here.